Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this section of reads. This should be on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. If you're not seeing it there, that's where it should be. Also, put the decks and dice below if you're looking for that information. If you would like a direct reading, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Cancer? What's happening? That's a great question. I feel separated away from something. Truth is coming. One more? Okay. This card was pushing out, so I want that one. Oh, you might have more say over the situation than you realize, but it might be coming forward later. It was pushing out of the deck saying, maybe take this card. Like, it's pushing out, so I was like, all right, I'll grab it. You need more truth. Something here, I don't know. I don't think you realize that something isn't quite right at the moment. I don't know if that's come forward yet. Okay. Options, opportunity, possibilities. There's something coming forward for you that can be very good for you. I feel disconnected from it right now. I almost feel like it doesn't matter what I do. I can either stay out of it and just let it be, or if I get involved with it, it might really be an issue. I want to do the right thing. I feel like whatever the situation is, you care about it deeply, but it's like if I get too involved, I feel like it's going to go bad. If I stay out of it, I don't know that it's going to get any better, but maybe it can at least stay the way it is. Instead of, I don't know, I just feel like I'm at catch-22. It's like whatever I do, if I stay out of it or get involved, I feel like it's not going to go well, and I'm worried about it. Things are changing. Things have been changing. There's been some minor upsets in the past that seem to be building up to something else. These are oracle cards, usually like possibilities or things you could try. Information is coming. The truth is coming. You haven't attained it yet. Not because you haven't wanted to, that's for sure. It just hasn't offered itself forward yet. It's kind of like the newspaper. It's going to show up tomorrow until it shows up. Well, I guess our newspaper's passé. It's like something showing up in the mail. Until it actually shows up on your doorstep and you can read it, you're not going to know that that's there. Maybe that's a better way to put it. It's hard to surrender to the process. It's hard to realize that this is a breakthrough that's going to help you go somewhere that you prefer versus where you are. Information is coming. It's a little unnerving. It is. And I feel like for those of you who are already connecting with this reading, I don't think that's news. I don't think that's news at all. It's kind of like, yeah, no, it is uncomfortable. And it's just always uncomfortable, at least currently. How is this coming your way is a good question. I mean, I see better cards coming in, but it's like, until I know what's really going on here, I just feel like I'm just, it's like trying to dig out a hole and throwing it right back on myself. Currently, you're not connected with what's really going on. There's some more information, but it's going to start showing itself. Something that you were unaware of. The Justice card comes in with the Wheel of Fortune. Something I didn't know, and I feel like I'm only getting part of the story that's going to start showing itself very soon. So it's like 20 cents on the dollar, if you will. Like you're getting 20% of what it really is about. You know what I mean? You're getting one piece of pie, not the whole pie. But you're like, now that I have a piece of pie, I'm like, I know what type of pie it is, though. And I know there's a lot more to come. I know there's a lot more there. I feel like that's what this is. And it leaves more questions than answers, but the thing is, I know what type of pie. I know that. And I know something else is coming out of this. I know this is in process. Something else is coming here. We want to get to the part where it goes better for you, right? And I do get that you're going to have the opportunity, and they're backing it up with this discovering the truth and moving forward inside in that truth, with that truth, as using that truth as your aid, kind of like, this is what I'm going to base my next moves on, the truth I learn. I get like very nervous with this one. Like, this is not easy. I feel like for those of you this is going to hit with, the situation is either there or it's not. And when the truth comes in, that's not easy. That's like, I have to sit down and I have to like really kind of look at it and go, okay, that's what the truth is. And it's not about liking it. It's about seeing it and addressing it. Like, I don't know. I was using a pie as an example, but it's kind of like, I didn't taste it, and then I taste it, and I'm like, oh wait, this is some funky quiche. They put a top crust on it. This is actually some type of funky quiche where they put a top crust on it, which is probably, but it's kind of like, it's not sweet, it's not a dessert. This is something different, and it's like, I'm starting to taste it, and I'm like, I knew it was there. I knew, like, I thought I knew what it was. I saw the color, and I thought, oh, it's this type of pie. But now that I'm tasting it, what looked like apple, that's not apple. That's something else. That's actually a meat, and that's some type of gravy with it. Totally not what I thought this was, but doesn't matter if I like it. This is what it is. It's not about, am I in the mood for this or not? It's like, this is what it is. This is what I got to work with. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm getting deeper into this truth. I saw it. I thought I knew what it was, and now I'm like, okay, this isn't a dessert pie. This is more of a dinner thing. In fact, I don't think it actually is a pie. I just thought it was. It's maybe more of a, I'm saying quiche, but I don't know what qualifies for a quiche, just to be fair. That's where action comes in. This is where this is where action comes in. Okay. Due to the information you're learning, I feel like I don't know what to do. Somebody else is going to move forward with correction. I feel like I'm following that. I would be careful not to follow that too far. Your energy is your energy. You are who you are for a reason. You're a beautiful person that is here for a reason, a part of this for a reason. I feel like the energy and like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just trying to get through it. Following it at first is fine. But then I feel like at some point I got to step back and have my own moment. It may be one where you have to have a private moment. You may have great people in your life that you very much trust, but it's kind of like, I need to step back and sort this out for what I'm seeing and for what I feel, and just make peace with how I actually feel without other people. Like, I don't want other people, like, sometimes we just don't like certain things, and it's like, maybe that's not correct to not like it, but we have to address, okay, I don't like it, but then go a little deeper, like, okay, why don't I like it? And kind of like, I just got to address it. What is it that I don't really like about it, and why? So I can sort it out. And it's not like, I don't want to like look for somebody else's approval to not like something. I got to just acknowledge, okay, I don't like this, but why don't I like this? It's in that moment that your power can really come in. This is where things can go very good for you. Because I feel like when I step back and I really look at like, wait, what is it about this that really doesn't work for me? Because I feel like I'm having a knee-jerk reaction. It's kind of like, well, I can't say no to this person because they're this. Or, you know, but then again, when I step back and I'm like, you know, that has nothing to do with it. The fact that they're this That has nothing to do with it. They fit in this category. That has nothing to do with it. They did this action, and that was a very mean action. But for some reason, some people are saying, well, because they fit in this category, we can't really say anything about that. And I'm like, wait, no. No, that was violence. That was mean. That was something they did that wasn't right. We can't just say that's okay just because they fit in one of these categories. I've gone through this with other people. I have gone through this with other people. Where there was something was out of balance, but due to this one category, they're like, well, they lived this life, so you can't say anything because they lived this life. And it's kind of like, yeah, but it's toxic for other people. Yeah, but they lived this life, you can't say anything about that. And guess what? I did anyway. And people didn't like it at first, but after some time passed, it was kind of like it had nothing to do with what category they fit in. The behavior was not fair. The people who were subject to that behavior, they didn't do anything to deserve that. Granted, the person, how their life went, it made sense why they did what they did and how they handled things, but it doesn't mean that we have to accept it. It just means it has to be corrected. Maybe you want to be nice about how you handle it and you want to acknowledge, okay, you did this, you did that, that's how your life was, but it doesn't mean you can keep doing that. It doesn't mean you can have this negative behavior because of your past. You can't subject other people to this abuse just because you had an abusive past. We can't validate it that way. And it's kind of like getting into it going, okay, wait a minute. If we really kind of like start laying it down, that makes sense. We got to look at this a little differently, but we still can't go along with negative behavior just because we're trying to validate it for this reason or validate it for that reason. There's the possibility for some very dramatic healing here. Very dramatic healing. And it's going to take, I'm seeing this, and the reading is the way the reading is. I'm just one of those people, I read it as it comes through. To have this dramatic healing, I feel like a lot of you probably already know this, it's going to take some dramatic truth. It could take some brutal truth. This card is the Emperor, and I feel like a lot of people see this, and it's not really attractive to many people. It's kind of unsettling with the ram's head as the helmet there. Not to everybody, but most people I feel like look at this and they're like, that looks a little bit, unhappy. It's the Emperor. And the ram is sometimes the symbol for the Aries energy. It can be brutal. It can be brutal, but it also comes forward with a lot of truth. And the other card here is telling me, like, it's going to take this situation in a whole new direction, and it's going to go on for a while. Faraway places here, new horizons is what it's saying at the bottom, and I think that makes sense. It's going to take this in a totally new direction, and it's going to re-establish the whole structure of the situation. Because when one situation gets questioned and gets taken apart and looked at for its pieces, there's going to be a lot of other things around it that are also going to be questioned and looked at and reconstructed. It's not just going to be one thing, is what I'm getting. There may be a moment here where you're kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. We've gotten this far, but now it's like a boulder going down a hill. It's in motion now, and I don't know what to do about it. And that's not bad that you're just going to have this moment. You're going to be like, okay, it's going forward. Things are happening. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to stand here for a minute. That's not bad. When you don't know what to actually do, instead of trying to just be an active part of the situation, kind of like, I want to help, so I want to keep moving, that may not be valid. It may not be the best choice. I want to help, but I don't know what's going on. Maybe you should just hold on. Let yourself figure out what's going on before you make any movements forward. Unless there's like a life and death situation, it may be okay and probably good to just kind of be like, well, wait a minute here. This is just running forward, and I don't understand some of this. And I want to believe it's all for the best, but I don't know if that's true. Holding back and holding your position for a minute is not a bad idea at this point. You will naturally go back into it, but as the waters clear, it says cleansing waters, as the waters clear, you'll just naturally go into this and you'll naturally go into that. I feel like this is going to be a process. I don't feel like an ending coming with this. I feel like it's a process and you're engaging the process. I do feel like when the process is happening, it's better, but it's also feeling like the never-ending story. Even though it improves, it kind of feels like, well, we're always going to have to keep an eye on this. We're always going to have to keep looking after it. It's improvement, though. as the water's clear, I feel like we can see more about what's really going on here and what we really have to keep an eye on and what we really have to kind of like move this back over here or put that over there, or nope, that's going a little off, so we got to bring that back in. It's always going to take some care with this situation, whatever it is. And I feel like when I get to this level, it's comparing it to what it was that makes me feel better. It's kind of like, you know what, we've gone a long way and it does keep improving. At least it's not what it was anymore. All right, that's what I got. I'm gonna shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.